Ignore the mess behind me, LOL.
I gotta grab my notebook.
Got
My
lovedreamingpeach.com.
notes over here. And I got my big body pillow again. Hello, my lovely peaches. How are you? Okay, I gotta find a good spot. It's late, so we always have the purple lighting. All right, I'm gonna try it like this. So I've just been working on 2 videos. I'm gonna try to post them here. I had a couple of videos about Trump that I posted that got struck down on TikTok. So
One the what?
I have a 2-hour, 13-minute long video about him. It's on my YouTube channel, which is Cat Love Dreaming Peach. If you're interested in watching that, you can watch it on my YouTube. I'm gonna try to post a 13-minute clip that I screen recorded of that video, and I'm gonna try to post that after this one, but it may get struck down. So, I wanted to do a little brief hello bio about me before I get further into the videos. So, I am Caucasian. My biological mother's grandparents were Russian, and they came here from there. And then my dad's grandparents were also Russian, but it was Russia then, but then it would be Latvia and Ukraine, Kiev, Minsk, Pinsk, Katerinoslav. Anyway, so my biological parents were married. They had my sister, and then when my sister was 2 years and 8 months, they had me. However, before I was conceived, my parents were separated. My dad had moved out. My biological mother was a very abusive and troubled and very terrible woman, and she was beautiful and she had great qualities, but she was unfit to be a mother. And my dad divorced her and remarried when I was 3 years old. And so when I was 3 years old, my father remarried the woman who is my mom, and I'll explain in a minute why she's my mom. She's my only mom. She's raised me my whole life since I was 4 years old. She is Haitian. She's a black woman. She's an immigrant. She's an American citizen. Okay, and so go back a minute. So my dad remarried when I was 3, and then when I was 4, my very abusive biological mother, white trash, put my sister and I into a foster home. And about a month later, my dad and my new mom found where we were, because my biological mother had lied and said that my dad was dead, even though she had lied and said that I had a different dad, but my dad knew he was my dad, and a lot of complicated stuff and trauma and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so after about a month in the foster home where my parents did not know where we were, they finally found out where we were from. One was from her friend who told her, and the other was the fake dad guy also told them. And they went and they got us out of the foster home. And when I was 4 years old, my mom, a beautiful black woman who's Haitian, her first language is French, she also speaks Creole, she moved here in her early 20s, she married my dad, she became technically my stepmother, but when I was 4 years old, she stepped in, and she had a lot of work ahead of her, because me and my sister had been severely traumatized and abused and neglected and then abandoned by this whack-ass, fucked up white woman. So my life was blessed by a black woman who's beautiful, and she's not an African American because she's from Haiti, so she was an immigrant, and she's now an American citizen. And her first language is French, as I already said. And so then when I was 8 years old, they had my brother. And so he is biracial. And then before she had come here, she had had a son that's actually my age, and that's a whole nother story. So, and she had had him with a Haitian man who was black. And so I have a brother who I joke and say that he's my twin, because we're kind of the same age. We're like 3 months apart, and he is Haitian and a beautiful black man. And my brother that I grew up with is biracial. And then my sister, who is white like me, married a black man. And so my niece and nephew are biracial. And then they got divorced. And my sister is now with someone she's been with for 15 years. And he's also a black man. And so I have step nieces through him that are beautiful black African Americans. Then my brother that grew up in Haiti, I don't think I mentioned that my mom's son that she had before she had come to the U.S. actually stayed with her parents and sisters and brother and grew up there. So I met him when I was 7, 9, and 11. Anyway, that's another complicated story. But so he did move to the States, and so he's married, and he married a beautiful Haitian woman who's also black. And they have 3 beautiful children, my nephew and 2 nieces, who are beautiful black children. And then my brother married a white woman, and so his kids are also biracial, but on the lighter side. And then my baby's daddy was a white man that had been my high school sweetheart, and so we have white kids, and one of my kids is like gray eyes and blonde, but my dad actually had been blonde when he was a baby. So anyway, my whole mom's side of the family are beautiful black Haitian, French speaking, and so my culture growing up was majority Haitian because my dad didn't really speak to his American family and his white side. So our only family that we really ever did gatherings with was my mom's side. So, and then when my mom and dad bought a house when I was like 8 years old, they decided to move into an all-black neighborhood. So I grew up in an all-black neighborhood, which very sadly has gentrified now, and that's where I live. I still live in this neighborhood, and I'm very sad to see mostly white people, and the prices are quadrupled. But anyway, so I personally don't have a lot of white people in my family that I'm close to. I have dated what my family has jokingly said the Rainbow Coalition of Love, and I am single at the moment. I've been single for a decade, raising my 2 kids after me and my baby's daddy broke up, my high school sweetheart. And anyway, so that is a bit about me. My parents got married back in the 70s. They got married less than 10 years after it was made legal for interracial couples to marry. I am 50 years old, so I grew up in one of the most diverse towns in the country, which I did not know that until I moved out of the country.
Out of state,
Actually,
not the
towns
country,
surrounding
lol.
my town are not diverse at all. So I live in a pocket of diversity. I do live in a very diverse state, and the towns around me, I said they're not diverse at all, and that's not really true. They're a lot less diverse than where I live. And I live on the Northeast coast, and I've lived in Chicago, I've lived in California, in Venice, and I lived close to in Venice Beach, and I lived close to Santa Monica, and then I lived in Topanga Canyon briefly, and I lived in Westfield, and I drove across country a couple of times, and I've been to Haiti 3 times when I was 7, 9, and 11, and we spent the entire summer there, like 2.5 months, with all my French-speaking, black, beautiful family, and me and my sister were like the only white people there, and I loved that because it just was, I loved being submerged in another culture. It made me feel part of it. I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been to Venezuela twice because my best friend lived there. She's now back in the States. So I have a very diverse, blended family, a diverse life, a diverse mindset, and I love all people regardless of how they look, who they love, what they do, what their genitals are, what their skin color is, what your hair is like, what language you speak, what religion you practice or don't practice, and how you want to live your life. It's none of my business. Mind your own damn business and learn to love people. Diversity is crucial in the world. Homogeny is death. And learn to open your mind, learn about other people. I'm also vegan, and so I've expanded my love and appreciation to all of life, all sentient beings. All sentient beings deserve to live free from suffering and pain and violence, and deserve to live with joy, love, and peace, free from harm and suffering. And